into too much detail. There are different types of finality, so deterministic or probabilistic. But regardless of this, how long does it take until the transfer is confirmed on the other end and that there's no doubt that it's done? All right. And so in a traditional financial system, it's been improving over the last couple of years, but it's still T plus 2, T plus 5, between 2 and 5 days. What that means is that I send you a bank wire, I transfer you money into your bank account. It typically takes between 2 to 5 days until both our financial institutions can close up that transaction. Hey, Larry, I sent you $5. You might actually receive it on the same day or the following day, but in the back end, it's really because your bank is giving you a credit of $5. They haven't really confirmed that they've really received the $5 and the $5 really left my account. That typically takes between 2 to 5 days, which is extremely long. Bitcoin came about, and that reduced it to 60 minutes. That's huge when you think about it, right? From 5 days to 60 minutes is a massive, massive leap. But you're limited at about 3 to 4 transactions per second, right? So you're going from just Visa, let's say 6,000 per second, almost instant finality, to now 60 minutes and only a few of them. Ethereum comes about, it does, what's the number, around 15 to 20, yeah, 15, give or take. And so, all right, much better than Bitcoin. Now you can start doing things on the network as well. So deploying smart contracts. So think of it like you can deploy programs, you can deploy code, and the blockchain can run that code. So you can do things with it. There's an if-then that's possible. And it lowers that down from 60 minutes to, let's say, 10 to 12 minutes, give or take. Still kind of long, though. If you're going to Starbucks and you want to buy your coffee, you're not going to wait there 12 minutes before the guy at the counter gives you your cup and Larry, we're good. We got your money. You're fine, right? So still limitations there. EOS has a finality of give or take 3 minutes. And so still quite long, though. You're not going to wait your 3 minutes. When I say 3 minutes, though, it's really the transaction pretty much completes instantly. But before you get the finality, that, let's say, T plus 5 type of thing, it's about 3 minutes. EOS is working right now on, so EOS, there was an iteration of EOS a few years back that brought that down to 3 seconds. So it was a chain called BOS, B-O-S, and it brought that down to 3 seconds, which means after 3 seconds, the transaction was finalized. There's no more doubt as to whether or not the funds have transferred or the transaction is complete or whatever's done that it can be validated, it's over. EOS is now working on what we call instant finality. So this is another initiative from the coalition that's going to bring down this 180-second finality, 3 minutes, give or take, to, let's say, 2 to 5 seconds. Like, it depends on the complexity of the transaction. I'd say the majority of the transactions will be 1 to 2 seconds. Some more complex ones will be, let's say, on the 5-second range type of thing. And so when you add then the IBC that we talked about before, with this concept of instant finality, now you can deploy multiple chains that can speak to one another, and they reach finality within matter of seconds, 1 or 2 seconds type of thing. Now you get to see from a user perspective that you can start leveraging the blockchain for Visa or for whatever type of utility that you can think of, and the blockchain in the backend can actually handle that and can reach finality, can give you that confirmation that yes, it's done almost instantly. It's from a user perspective, it's instant. You click, it's done basically. By the time you even think about it, it's already finalized. So that's the other metric. It's time to finality. And I'm not sure if you talked about it. Oh, we talked about swaps per second.
Yeah.
So swaps per second, this is a little bit more complex. So we've been talking about a simple transfer, right? I send you a certain amount of tokens. That's pretty simple in terms of lines of code and complexity of code. That's very, very simple. When we talk about swaps, we're not talking about way more lines of code, more complex transactions. You're doing something in a game or in an application, and there's a lot of different pieces there. So it requires more computational power in the background. Think of it like if you're running something on your computer and you're trying to do something that's a little bit harder. Well, if you're, sometimes it takes, think of it like you're loading a game. Well, it might take a little bit longer to load the game because there's just more stuff to actually process in the background. So a swap just takes more to process in the background. And so that's why it's a more more realistic transaction, because then it's more representative of the type of usage that exists on chain. And so that inherent number of how many of those you can do will be lower, but it's more representative of what people actually do now with blockchains, whether it's